It was morning and the sun felt warm on my face. The sky was bright blue and the whole playground felt like it was just for me. I ran straight to the swings, kicked off hard, and flew like a rocket. The wind rushed past my ears, and I couldn't stop laughing. The slide looked taller today, like a mountain. I climbed up, shouted something silly, and zoomed down like a superhero. I made up a game with the monkey bars, pretending I was crossing lava. My shoes got sandy, but I didn't care. The sun started going down, but I didn't notice it first. The sky turned orange and pink, and the shadows on the ground got longer, but I was still playing like nothing changed. The swings felt slower, like they were getting sleepy. The slide wasn't as warm anymore, but I kept going. One more run, one more climb, one more pretend adventure. Most of the other kids had already left. Their moms called them in for dinner, but I liked it that way. The whole playground felt like mine. The sky was turning purple, the sun was almost gone, and the playground felt different, quieter, like it was getting sleepy. Dad had gone to get me a snack from the corner store. He said he'd be right back. I told him I'd stay on the swing. I was going slower now, dragging my feet in the dirt, just waiting. Suddenly a mysterious man appears and said, "I'm P. Diddy. Got a freaky party coming up, and I need someone new." I didn't know what that meant, but it felt wrong, really wrong. So I asked him what that mean and what is the purpose of the freaky party. He replies, saying that I was looking for some kids with sexy body that I could use for my freaky party. So I asked him what I will get back if I go with you to that party. He replies coldly, saying that you will meet some famous person like Drake that will be raped you. I was so terrifying that I almost pee my pant, but I need to calm myself and smile, knowing that I'm facing a dangerous situation. I backed away, then ran, as fast as I could. I almost made it, but he grabbed me. I screamed, kicked, bit his arm. He cursed and tried to hold on. Then something heavy went over my head. Everything went dark. I kept fighting, but he picked me up. I couldn't see, I couldn't breathe, and then, nothing. In that very moment, only thing I could do is putting as much evidence for someone who could help me.
It's been a month, 30 days since Aiden vanished. I've gone through every video, every witness statement, every second of that day, over and over. I've got maps, notes, photos, his shoes, his drawings, even the wrapper from the snack I was going to bring him. It's all laid out in my garage like some kind of puzzle I can't solve. Police are doing what they can, but it's not enough. I know my boy. I know he's out there. Every night, I replay it, the moment I left, the moment I came back, the empty swing. There's something I'm missing. I can feel it, but no matter how deep I dig, I still don't know where he is. I tried doing it all myself. Days blurred into nights. Pins on maps, phone calls, files stacked everywhere. But it's not enough. I'm not a cop. I'm just a dad. A desperate one. I kept thinking, if I just push harder, I'll find something. But I hit the wall. Again and again. I needed someone who could see what I couldn't. Someone who wasn't part of the system, but knew how it worked. So I started asking around. Quietly. Carefully. We met at a small coffee shop just off the main road. Quiet place. Dim lights. Chipped tables. Old jazz playing in the background. He was already there when I walked in. Alone. No drink. Just sitting, watching the door. Nadirt, ex-detective. Private now. Reputation for finding what others missed. He didn't shake my hand, just nodded and said, "Sit. Tell me everything." So I did. From the park to the swing to the man, every detail. I expected doubt, but he just listened. No judgment, no reaction. "You got photos?" he asked. I slid over a folder. He didn't even open it. Just said, "I'll help you. No charge, but you do exactly what I say." And just like that, I wasn't alone anymore. We stayed at that coffee shop for over 2 hours. Nadirt didn't say much at first, just flipped through every photo, every map, every note I'd gathered. He had this way of staring at things like he was waiting for them to speak. "There's a pattern here," he finally said. "It's not random." He pointed at a map I'd marked with Aiden's name, the park, the nearby streets. Then 3 other pins I'd added, reports of strange sightings, other missing kids, stuff the police had dismissed. He circled an old industrial zone on the edge of town. Abandoned warehouses, fenced off, forgotten. If he's alive, Nadirt said, that's where we start looking. Time moved without asking. Summer slipped into fall. The air got colder, but we were still chasing shadows. Nadirt and I combed through everything, maps, records, every lead we thought meant something, but it all ended the same way, nowhere. So we went back to the beginning, the park. It looked smaller than I remembered, quieter. The leaves had started to fall, covering the ground like a soft blanket. But the swing, his swing, still creaked in the breeze. We started asking people, the regulars, joggers, parents, teenagers who hung around after school. Do you remember a boy, 7 years old, his name's Aiden? Most just shook their heads. Some gave us pity. A few didn't even stop to listen. But then, one old man pointed to the edge of the trees. I saw something strange that day, he said. A man, watching. He didn't belong there, the old man told us. Stood by the trees for a long time. No kid, no dog, just staring. Then walked off toward that old house by the hill. Nadirt and I looked at each other. Didn't say a word. We left the park right then. The house wasn't far, maybe a 5-minute walk through the trees. It looked abandoned. Cracked windows, peeling paint, mailbox stuffed with yellowed flyers. At it knocked anyway, twice. No answer. Nothing. Just a dead end. We spread it all out. Every note, photo, and lead we'd gathered. Maps, names, pins on a board, Aiden's drawings, timelines. We checked it all again, hoping something would click this time. It didn't. Nadirt barely said a word, just flipped through folders like he was trying to force them to speak. It's all here, I said. But none of it matters. We had everything. Except the one thing that could bring Aiden home. Another month gone. The house feels quieter now. Too quiet. I still see him on the couch with his cartoons, chasing bubbles in the yard, falling asleep in the car with crumbs on his shirt. Little moments.
Once the police department officially stepped in, the pace of the search picked up dramatically. Suddenly we weren't alone anymore. We had access to specialised teams, advanced technology, and databases far beyond what Edward or I could reach on our own. Edward had done everything any parent could, tirelessly chasing every lead, but this was a different level. With more eyes and ears on the case, new details started to emerge. We revisited every piece of evidence, reanalysed security footage and cross-referenced call logs that had previously gone unnoticed. And then, one day we got a breakthrough. A heat signature detected from a remote, isolated house well outside city limits. It wasn't a place that appeared on standard maps, clearly off the grid. This was the first concrete lead we'd had in weeks, a location that held real promise. For the first time in a long while, hope felt real. We had somewhere to go. Somewhere to find Aiden. We looked at the evidence again. Could it be another dead end, another false lead? Edward's determined warn, I don't know, but we don't have anything left to lose. Edward said, then we go all in, no holding back. Edward resolute, for Aiden we give everything.
The house wasn't a cabin or some shack in the woods. It was a mansion. The mansion, massive, silent, almost too clean, like someone was trying to hide something behind perfection. The police moved in carefully. Nadirt stayed close. I followed behind, my heart pounding in my throat. We checked room after room. Empty halls, locked doors, quiet walls. Then I heard it. Faint. Muffled. Crying. A kid's cry. Aiden's cry. I knew that sound. I didn't wait. I ran ahead and slammed my shoulder into the nearest door, and it burst open. And there he was, my son, in the corner of a dark room, curled up, eyes wide with fear. He looked up at me, and for the first time in months, I heard him say, Dad? I dropped to my knees the second I saw him. He looked thinner, quieter, older somehow, but he was there, alive. I wrapped my arms around him, and he just collapsed into me like he'd been holding everything in for too long. I missed you, Dad, he whispered. I couldn't even speak. I just held him tighter. The room disappeared. The mansion, the noise, the nightmare. None of it mattered. I was still holding Aiden when Nadirt appeared in the doorway. He didn't say anything at first, just gave me a nod, a quiet one, the kind that said, we did it. Aiden could barely stand. His legs gave out when I tried to lift him. Nadirt stepped in beside me. "Let's get him out of here," he said. Together, we carried him through the long halls, past the empty rooms, and into the night air. The cold hit us as soon as we stepped outside, but Aiden breathed in deep, like he was finally free. And for the first time in forever, so did I. A day passed, just one, but it felt like the start of a new life. Aiden was coming home. The doctors cleared him, no major injuries, just exhaustion, emotional weight no kid should ever carry. When the car pulled up, I stepped outside. Nadirt helped him out gently, steady hands and soft words. I knelt down, pulled Aiden into a hug, and said, "Welcome home, buddy." He looked up at me, smiling just a little, then glanced at Nadirt. "Hey," I said, voice quiet but sure. "Nadirt's not just a hero, he's family now." Aiden blinked, like, "Living with us?" "Yeah." "I asked him to stay," I said, "as my partner, my person." Aiden looked at Nadirt, then back at me. He smiled wider. "Cool." The weeks after Aiden came home were quiet, gentle. We didn't rush anything, just being together again was enough. Nadirt moved in like we said he would, at first just to help, but the truth was, he already felt like part of our family. One evening, while Aiden was asleep, we stood on the porch, just the two of us. I looked at him and said, "You saved my son. You saved me." He didn't say anything at first. Then he smiled and pulled me in. We sat together on the couch, me, Nadirt, and Aiden, like we had always belonged there. Aiden was snuggled between us, wrapped in his favorite blanket, cocoa in hand. The news played softly in the background. Breaking. Sean. P. Diddy Combs arrested in connection with child trafficking investigation. They showed footage flashing lights, officers, him being led away. Aiden didn't speak, he just leaned into me. I put my arm around him, and Nadirt rested a hand on his back. Nad looked over at me, then to Aiden. He smiled, and for the first time in a long time, I smiled back without faking it. So much had happened. So much had been taken, but here we were, together, safe, healing, whole. We didn't need big words, just this moment. Aiden looked up at us and said, "Can we stay like this forever?" I squeezed his hand. "Yeah, buddy, we can." And that was enough. Me and nature kiss. The end.